Hello, friends. Welcome to the big show. This is the officially unofficial geek channel. I am Carrie Quinn. I am the OUG. Welcome to my world. Yes, I am sitting back at my desk. This week it felt pretty good. I did a show. I didn't do a show here, except for a recent unboxing and the usual Wednesday show with Joe. I did a show recently, last Monday. I was on John's Comics with Kids. I was a contestant on Comic Gory, so I thought I was going to sit here. I had my desk all ready for that show, and the thing is the desk is still operational right now. God knows how long, but it is. So, anyways, this is the main show. I did not do one last week because I was getting ready and it was taking a lot of my time. But if you haven't watched it already, go check it out. Like I said, I was on Comic Gories on John's Comics with Kids channel. I did not win, but I had the best time. I want to come back. I really hope I get the opportunity to come back and do that again. It was really cool getting to hang out with people in the community on shows, on channels, and everything like that. And I'm going to be doing another one coming this Tuesday, not on John's channel, but I'm going to be on Gary B, the Casual Comic Guy's channel. I'm going to be doing his 10-1-1 show, which is 10 comics from my collection that have an importance to me, one collection with an extended story, and one spec pick. I already have my books picked out. I am really excited. I actually thought in the beginning it was going to be hard to pick 10 books. Well, technically 12 books out of my collection. But then I sat there and I was like, okay, so I started pulling books to wean down. I was like, okay, well, let's give it a shot here. Make sure I can make it to 10, right? At one point, I had like 20 books. 20. And then I added books because I was like, shit, I forgot about this book and this book. And even so, after I whittled all that down to the 12, right? Like later on that night, I was like, oh man, I wish I would have gotten that book out of my collection. I don't know if you can hear this, but there is a child in the hallway. Oh well. I live in an apartment building, guys. It's bound to happen. Just deal with it. Um, Yeah, so I whittled that down to the 10 regular comics and then like the spec and the extended story pick. I whittled that down from 20 to the total 12. Um and then I was sitting there like, "Oh my god. Oh my god, I didn't put this in there. Oh my god, I didn't put this in there." And it was like, "Okay, no, Carrie, best not to overthink this too much. Do not overthink this too much. You'll drive yourself nuts." And so I did not overthink it too much, thankfully, hopefully. And I think I've got some really solid shit that I'm really excited to share with everyone. So Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central Time, Gary B, the Casual Comic Guy, his 10-1-1. The subject will be me and my comic book collection. Excited, having so much fun getting to do these other channel shows. And you know what? I love it. I love getting to interact with the community, and it's so much fun. And I get to share my smartass personality with the world, other than my little world here. People that watch my channel regularly. Um, and it's like really cool because, you know, these are all live shows and, you know, you're sitting there and you're seeing people that regularly watch your channel being like, yeah, Carrie's great. And thank you guys so much. If you came out and you watched Comic Gories and you supported the channel, you supported me, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I saw you. I'm still confused on the whole house streamware or StreamYard work. So I wasn't really until I wasn't in the competition anymore. I really wasn't able to like respond and be like, yeah, thanks. Um, but believe me, I saw you, and thank you. I am humbled by your support and your continued support and your interest in the channel and everything I do. Um, and yeah, and you guys get, I'm going to be on Gary B's channel this coming, Tuesday. Like I mentioned, I can't mention it enough. I want a lot of people to come and support Gary B's channel. I was just in his chat last night for his 1011 last night with Poke and Joe. Great, great selections there. Like, wow. And that was around that time that I was sitting there, like, thinking while I was watching that, being like, oh, crap. I didn't include this, or oh, crap, I didn't include that. And I had to talk myself down. I just did. I had to be like, it's okay, Carrie. And I had so much fun, interacting on John's channel with everyone and interact. I anticipate I'm gonna have fun interacting on Gary's channel with his show. I'm like, seriously, guys, I am a co-host for hire right now. Like, I think that's what I am. I'm gonna be a guest co-host for hire. If you need someone that is, a woman's, I like to think of myself as an intelligent smartass. Hey, I'm here. Send me a DM. Um, as long as my schedules match up with yours, and I'm, you know what, I right away, actually, I got an invitation to be on another show, on another show on John's channel right away after Comic Gories, and it was just like one of those things where it's like the subject matter and everything like that. I was just like, I really am not that strong knowledge wise in that subject area. So I was like, you know what? Definitely keep me in mind. Thank you for asking, and that kind of thing, to be part of like a panel or whatever, um, involving something that he was asking me about. And I was like, really? Totally. If I knew more about the subject matter, I would totally do it. I'm not one of those people that wants to just be like, oh, I'm gonna accept, be on anything and just, I actually want to be able to give really great content to your audiences. But other than that, I am a guest co-host for hire. Me and my mostly white hair, um and my unique fashion sense with the jaws and cardigan. Yeah. Um I am totally down, and I hope I get to do more of that stuff soon. Anyways, so that's kind of stuff that's going on here, that has been going on, is coming up. I'm going to be doing some I think we're going to take on a whole, cuz it's now autumn. The fall equinox has happened. It's now autumn. Um, I think we're going to be doing some more spooky Halloween scary stuff with the channel. We're going to be doing some of our normal stuff, but we're also going to be branching out. I think Joe and I were talking about doing a horror movie kind of thing, kind of similar to what we did with the What's Happening Wednesday show like a couple months ago, where we were both picking a movie for the other to watch. But this time we're both going to be picking a horror slash thriller slash Halloween slash spooky movie to fit into the time period that we're all in right now. My favorite time of the year. Um, trying to figure out if I'm going to do a special birthday show. My birthday is coming up. Yes, yes. I okay. Calm down. My birthday is coming up. Yes. I know all of y'all were just like, oh my god, it's her birthday. No, you weren't. You were just sitting there, like, being like, okay, shit, it's her birthday. Yeah, it's my birthday, Saturday, October 1st. So, I'm thinking about whether I want to do something special for that or not. Like last year, I did a live show on my birthday in the evening. Actually, guys, I might actually go out on my birthday in the evening this year. There's a special, like, witchy market happening here in Rockford, and I kind of want to check that out, because I'm a spooky witchy kind of person, but I'm definitely thinking I might do something during the day, maybe afternoon, early afternoon, later afternoon, I don't know, before I go out. I don't know. What do you guys, if you guys have any suggestions on what you would like me to do special for my birthday as a show, let me know, and I'll tell you if I'm going to do it or not. How about that? How about that? I might do some spooky reads and talk about them. Maybe, because it's October 1st. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. You know, yeah, maybe. See, the DC Universe Infinite site app has a lot of like the old spooky DC stuff. It's right there on the app. I actually read like an issue of like the Forbidden Mansion of Love series. They're all like one shots, like self-contained one-shot stories. There's like a few of them. And I read one, and it was like very campy and corny. And I don't think I've talked about it yet on the channel, but I could talk about that. I do have a reprint of The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina #1 sitting right there. Then I've been very interested in reading some Sabrina, and it's been definitely mentioned to me that it's some pretty good stuff. So I'm going to probably be checking that out. Yeah. So let me know. What do you guys think? Should I what should I do special on the channel for my birthday? Because I like to do special things for special occasions. Anyways, I've taken like over 13 minutes of the time talking about myself. Let's talk about comics, because I got a stack here. Not too long of a stack. It'll be fun. We can do this. So I kind of have these in order, but I kind of don't. So let's just go. Let's just do this. First one we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about this is kind of a campy, kooky thing, and it basically just kind of takes me back to my childhood, like a ton. This was not one of the comics from the last couple weeks. This is actually something that came out a while ago, and it is called Madballs versus Garbage Pail Kids #1. Um, when I was a kid, I used to collect the Garbage Pail Kid cards and stickers. I had like back in the 80s, it was a big deal to collect stickers in a sticker book. I'm telling you guys, it was. I'm going to be 41 in a few days. I'm going to tell you, you can take my word for it. So people would collect stickers and stickers books, and one of the major stickers that people would collect is the Garbage Pail Kids stickers. Now they're mostly just if you buy Garbage Pail Kids now, I think they're mostly just cards now and not stickers. They might have some stickers in there from what I can tell. But yeah. So and Mad Balls is another thing that kids all had when I was a little girl, a little tight, this tall, you know. So I'm sitting down, guys. Realize I was not a tall child. Um, so there were these grotesque looking things that you could squeeze. It was kind of like a stress ball, you know. So this is kind of just like a little Mad Balls versus Garbage Pail Kids. Like I think there's like three stories, separate little tales in here that are just grotesque and silly and campy and just fun. It's like it's not really anything that's going to win an Eisner, but it's also just fun. It's just fun. And sometimes, for a person that reads a lot of like serious shit, like Batman type shit and that kind of thing, um, sometimes silly is good. And it's a little bit, it's a palate cleanser. There's some gross humor in it because, well, I mean, it's Garbage Pail Kids. Um, so there's gross humor, but it was actually very nice. I did like it. I did like it. Um, the next thing I'm going to be talking about is Dark Crisis: Worlds Without a Justice League, Wonder Woman, and secondary tale Martian Manhunter. Okay, so um, if you haven't been keeping up with this, basically the Worlds Without a Justice League um, part of Dark Crisis. It's the when Justice League 75 happened, and it was the death of the Justice League. Um, Basically, what you see at that moment is the Justice League kind of like evaporating into thin air. But what you end up finding out through the story and everything like that is that they're not actually like evaporating into thin air. They're being placed in these different like dream world sequences. And you find that out right away. Like one of the first ones to end up in one of those dream worlds is the Flash. And because the Flash, kind of Barry Allen's Flash, was kind of taken like way back when we had like the Justice League Incarnate and Infinite Frontier books. That's how long the Flash has been involved in all of this. Okay? Barry Allen's Flash to be specific. And they've all been placed in these like dream worlds where, completely honest, up until this book has been pretty positive experiences for each of the superheroes. Um, but then you get to, and it's almost like one of those things where it's like, this is like pariahs drawing energy from them being in these worlds and them interacting with the worlds around them, these dream worlds around them. Like you have Superman who's there to raise John more. You have the Green Arrow, John Stewart's Green Arrow, where he's, you know, able to live a simple retired life, but he also was able to build. And the reason he's able to do this because he was able to take, all kinds of different kinds of people and build this like, like special forces Green Lantern Corps, where you have, people like Jason Todd is a Green Lantern. Like things like this, really, like where it's like they all get to have these wonderful like experiences and they get to live these lives, right? Until this issue. And I don't know why with these two particular characters that they went this way. Wonder Woman is living in a world where the Amazons have done something to cause peace throughout man. However, it's not working right. And so all the Amazons basically decide at a certain point that they're going to blast off into space on a rocket. But Wonder Woman has to stay because basically what's happening is the Amazons are like all giving up on man, and they're done, while Wonder Woman's like, no, I have to stay and I have to see this through. I have to be the reason why all this works and blah blah blah. So basically, um Loki now um gave Wonder Woman a not so much where under normal circumstances Wonder Woman looks um what's the phrase I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? Um where Wonder Woman looks normally, where she looks normally is um selfless, wanting to unite mankind and eliminate war and everything like that. Where normally she looks selfless doing this. In this story, she looks kind of narcissistic. Like there's a secret that they made her forget, right? Because they were like, oh my god, if you knew the truth, it would like just shatter you, right? And she finds out the truth. And they're like, okay, well, by the way, we're all gonna get on this rocket and leave. And it's like, okay. So Diana lets them leave, and she has to stay because she can't not be the person that brings peace to mankind. Now, side note, Etta Candy is president. That's pretty cool. I'm going to give it that. I'm going to give it that. Etta Candy is president. I like that. Um, that's basically the gist of what happens with Wonder Woman. And, Dr. Psycho is there too. So, because of course we got to have Dr. Psycho. And then we also have the secondary story, which is about Martian Manhunter. Interesting noir story, but of course, it's also kind of weird. Like, it's like he ends up eliminating himself because himself has come to warn him that things are not right. But I like the noir setup in the story. I like that. That's a positive. The art is pretty cool. I like that, his world is basically a world where he gets to live on Earth, but everyone has evolved to the point where they match him as beings. Um, and so he's not the odd person anymore. I like that. Um, but then it seems like you have the Martian typical um typical version that we normally see of Martian Manhunter is coming, and he's like, it seems like he's kind of trying to warn him, but then like the Martian Manhunter is like sitting there, he's like, oh no, I'm killing you, like, because this is paradise. This is paradise. Go the fuck away. This is paradise. Which is kind of what also happened with Barry Allen. Barry Allen's like, I like this. Go away. He wasn't willing to, at first, he wasn't willing to accept that. Yeah. Maybe it's one of these things where, like, by this time, because we're getting into October and all this stuff is supposed to be wrapping up soon, that all these things seem odd because things are supposed to be starting to unravel. Maybe I don't know. Well, maybe we'll find out. We'll find out, and or maybe this is just maybe that's just what happens to Wonder Woman and Martian Manhunter. Alrighty. I mean, there were good points and there were bad points for all of them. I'm gonna tell you, the I loved Etta Candy being president and Wonder Woman's thing, for reals. Um, and I love the whole kind of like detective noir set up to the Martian Manhunter one. I love detective noir stuff, and it was there in full swing, and I liked it. It was like Martians and humans evolving with noir. Yeah. So the next book I'm going to talk to you about is I started reading Barbaric, and this is Barbaric 2, Axe to Grind, Barbaric 2. I really have been enjoying this book. We have this group of adventurers that two of them are barbarians that had worked together before, and they have they have a magic user working with them, and then you also have Smith, who has, is it Smith? No, what is his fucking name? Steele is the one. Owen has the axe there that is it can talk, and the axe also gets drunk on blood, and so whenever they fight, the axe is like all excited because it's gonna get drunk. And you have the two barbarians, Steele and Owen, who found out that this mortal enemy of theirs is gaining power again that they thought was gone. And they have a score to settle with this dude because he basically ruined everything for them and killed their leader. Um, their leader was like this badass woman that wanted to take on this horrible guy herself because she was the leader. She was like, I'm gonna do this. And you find out that the major like axe to grind major axe to grind for them is that basically they are responsible, this being is responsible for a lot of really bad shit that happened to the both of them, like when their leader dies, and after getting completely just rammed through the body with a sword, um their whole group falls apart completely and they all go off their separate ways, and then stuff happens to them, and that whole backstory gets explained while they start their quest to go find this guy, um because Soren, the magic user, is sitting with Steele, and she's like, okay, so like what's the deal really, like why is this such a big deal? Sorry, I have an itch. Why is this such a big deal for the both of you? Can you give me a little bit more back history here? And that's basically what's happening. You also have a little side, thing with Owen and his axe, where a weird spirit kind of god thing like actually kills a woman because that's the only way that they can talk. They can take over that spirit's energy and talk to Owen, and they're like, you know what, don't do it, don't do it, don't do this. don't do this. We'll find a way to stop you. This is a bad idea. And no one's like, screw you guys, I'm doing it. And that happens too. So we get some back history. We get the ominous warning from a godlike creature, a supernatural godlike creature. Ominous warning from them. We've got, the tragic backstory. We've got, you know, inanimate objects that are alive and talk. We've got the quest. We've got, you know, opposition forces, you know. This is all like someone's D&D fever dream right here on the page for me, and I like it. I'm having fun with it. It reminds me of playing D&D, which I haven't done in a very while. Um and I used to love doing it. So it's nice. It's nice to see something like this. It takes me to that place again. It's cool. So next book we're going to talk about and this is the end of that arc, story arc. Yeah, you can say that. Superman, Son of Kal-El, number 15. This is the last issue for the storyline with President Bendix. And next issue we have the return of Kal-El to see his son, which will be nice. It'll be nice. So basically this is, just the ending actions of the revolutionaries. And Superman taking on the bad guys, and what they have to do to win. They have to, get into the control room of all the people using mind control to control the post-humans that Bendix has made. So once they're able to get through that, then basically it really just falls apart for for Bendix, and Bendix is like done. Yeah. And Lex is like, yeah, you're done. Lex comes in, he's like, you're done. Bendix is like, no, bitch, I'm not. And Lex is like, really? Really you are? You are. And I'm gonna tell you exactly how done you are. That I'm going to kill you now. I'm gonna open a goddamn airlock when you're in space, and I'm going to let you just fly out. Float out into space. Goodbye. Sayonara. Nice knowing ya. Too bad you failed. And bye. Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. It's whenever Lex Luthor does some shit like that. Like, it's just like, hey. When it comes down to quintessential bad guys in classic superhero comics, you got the Joker, you've got, Lex Luthor. Like, yeah. Yeah. But it's to the point where it's like one of those things where it's like you love to hate Lex Luthor so much that you still love him. Okay? And so whenever Lex Luthor does some shit like that, you're just like, yeah, motherfucker. Um So, they win the day. Everything gets better. I'm not completely sure how we get Jay's mother back to normal, but I think they'll figure that out. Because if you remember from last issue, she's now like a little like bug like being, like, you know. But good luck to them, you know? Um and it ends with a very sweet moment between Jay and John. And John is like, oh wow, your mask got all messed up again, Jay, and And Jay's like, you know what? You live openly, so why not me? And it ends with a lovely kiss at the end of the book, and it makes you smile. It makes you have the goosebumpies, you know, and you like it. You like it because the love is cool, deep, like love, and sometimes lost. It's all good. I mean, for them, it's just, you know, deep like possible love. You know, it's cool. Good for them. Gives you the goosebumpies because it's lovely. And the little romanticness, you know? Anyways, the big return of Clark Kent Superman coming in the next issue. I was worried. I was just like, you know, I'm going to look and see what, you know, upcoming issues of Son of Kal-El. I was worried that it might get cut off now that Superman is back. But it appears to be going on. So that's going to be cool. We still get, you know, Son of Kal-El. It's cool. Next one we're going to be talking about is I Am Batman, Enter the Question. I Am Batman, Enter the Question. I think it's funny they're saying Enter the Question. She been there last few issues, guys. We're going to talk about in a moment covers on comic books, because let's put a pin in that one, because we're going to talk about it in a moment. Okay, but anyways, I Am Batman. Honestly, John Ridley, you were starting to lose me, but you got me back. You got me back with this one. Some of the imagery, Ridley, Dolce Locus, some of the imagery, especially in this storyline, um, brought something. You know, like one in the whole case of Jace Fox's Batman. He's been working with Renee Montoya the Question, trying to figure out what happened to the protest leader and Anarchy. And they were thinking that the police had this one dude murdered and then had Anarchy murdered. So they've been trying to figure that out, and they had kind of pinpointed to question this one guy that's kind of an asshole. Not kind of an asshole, excuse me, really an asshole in the New York police force. And they had all figured out that they were going to kind of catch him in his bullshit, you know? And then it comes right down to it that, while they're going to try to catch him in his bullshit, he wants to try and catch them in bullshit. In fact, he has all of his buddy cops in the shadows when he goes to meet up with Jace, all ready to take him out. He's gonna shoot fucking Jace Fox's Batman. Fuck you, dude. You know? But then Montoya, the Question, Renee takes care of all of them. So that's not even gonna happen, right? Um and they're like, he's like sitting there and like they're like hammering him with questions about, you know, this, you know, protest leader and everything like that. And he's like, why would we kill that guy when he was working for us as an informant? Bomb drop. What? He was working for you as an informant. What was he informing on? And that's kind of where we're going to be taking, I believe, the next issue involving all of that. But side tale here, side plot point here. We have Tiffany Fox kind of working through her frustrations involving wanting to help the world and be there and be a better person and help everyone and that kind of thing. And she kind of sees everyone around her as not taking enough of an active role in doing that. And you really start to kind of see where Tiffany is inching her way to becoming a possible sidekick figure for Jace Fox's Batman. And the issue really ends not with Jace Fox. The issue ends with Tiffany Fox. And she's been you have these moments where she's been training herself, and she's kind of writing it all off, and she's like getting frustrated with everyone not wanting to do enough, and she's trying to figure out, how do I do more? And the issue doesn't end on an image of Jace Fox. No, it doesn't. The issue ends where Tiffany is now on top of a building in a tracksuit with a mask with a baton, kind of like two sticks, like what Nightwing has, okay? But it's like a baton, right? Two batons. And she's like, it's really great. Like, you hear this, like, you're reading. You read this narration, and it's coming from her, okay? And she says, maybe you and Jace are cool with just letting things play out. Maybe you're okay getting involved after the fact. I gotta be real with you, sis. Doing nothing, that doesn't work for me. I've got to meet the bad things where they live. She's on top of a roof. Look at the overhead bats. I love that imagery. And the next issue is called Unwanted Allies. I love this. Little Tiffany Fox. Look at this girl. She probably needs help. But little Tiffany Fox joining the fray. So we'll see where that goes. We'll see where that goes. I think I have one sip left of this Dr. Pepper. Okay, guys, so let's talk a minute. We're going to go on to the next book. The next book, there's actually nothing really wrong with the book. Okay? The story is actually, I've been a fan of this storyline. I've been reading this storyline since it started. I am liking this story. I legit am. Like, I'm really liking this story. I'm liking where it's going to this point. I haven't really, at any point in this story, gotten bored with anything. Okay? Because this character is such a strong character, and is one that I like so much that it's hard to bore me involving this character. And I'm speaking, of course, of Catwoman. Catwoman number 47. And I'm going to tell you something right now. Look at this cover. What is the impression that anyone looking at this cover gets about this book? I'll give you a moment. It says, lovers who steal together stay together. And it has a picture of Valmont and Catwoman in that position, like that. Here's the thing. Number one, at no point of this issue do they boink. Okay? Number one, there is no sexual relations in this book whatsoever. 2, yes, they steal stuff together. They steal stuff together, but here's the thing. Guys, since Valmont has shown up in Gotham, since Valmont has walked into Selena Kyle's life, they have not once in this storyline done the nasty. Not once. It we had a situation where a recent Batman story connected with the Catwoman story, in that Catwoman, um, Batman, in the Batman issue, I believe it was one of the first of the Zdarsky run, where Batman is calling Selena, and he hears Valmont in the background, and it's at night, and the things that are said insinuate to Batman that she is not only not alone, but she is entertaining a gentleman caller. And he quickly gets off the phone with her. But you end up finding out in the next issue, the same month, of Catwoman, that that conception is definitely not true. Um, she is not, she has not had sexual relations with that man. This is Selena Kyle. I have not had sex with that man, Valmont. And it's one of those things where it's like, just a few, like an issue or two before that moment where it was like the other side of the phone conversation between Bruce and Selena, where you find out that Selena is most definitely has not had sex with Valmont. Okay? She has not. Which, you know what? Here's the thing. Her and Bruce have been on a break. They're on a break. If she were to have sex with Valmont, who cares? Certainly shouldn't be anyone. Okay? Anyone. No one should give two rats ass. Now, the thing is like a couple issues, an issue or two before that, she, makes the narration statement, because it's the issues that she's with Harley Quinn, where she's just like, I could totally score with Harley Quinn right now, but her heart is elsewhere, and so is mine. Um, and then a couple issues later in Catwoman, after you have that, this is the other end of the conversation. You have a moment where Selena does run into the Robins, and you have like a little heart to heart that she has with Dick Grayson, um, involving her and Bruce, and you know that that's still a sticking point with her, especially when in one of those issues, I can't remember if that was the same issue or not, she is reminiscing about how special it was to work with Bruce, and why it was so why she enjoyed working with him, and being with him so much, because he accepted and treated her like an equal, and he never let her down. So in no place, nowhere, no how in this storyline has Selena Kyle done the nasty with Valmont. But yet we get this. And they definitely they definitely didn't boink in this issue. Like, I read it. Guys, I'm telling you about it right now. I read it. They did not point. And the thing is I would not even hold it against the character of Selena Kyle if they did. She's on a break. Like, she's on a break, guys. She's on a break. You know, Valmont's not a bad looking dude. Like, he's suave, debonair, likes to steal shit like she does, you know, come on. I mean, he does like to murder people too. That's a downer. But you know, he's a flirt. He's a flirt and he likes to steal shit. Like if she ever ended up if she had ended up at this point having done the nasty with Valmont, nobody should really give her two like should never give two shits about it. Um However, I think in order this is just my viewpoint, y'all. In order to consider somebody lovers, two people lovers, you kind of have to have done the nasty, don't you think? Maybe I'm wrong, but you know what? I probably am not. I'm probably not wrong. I'm gonna say I'm not wrong on this. I am an adult, and I can tell you right now. In order to become lovers with someone, you must do the nasty with them at least once, with intention of doing it twice. At least, you know, plan on doing that nasty at least once or twice. Have done it once, plan on doing it a second time. Then we can say they are lovers. Unfortunately, DC apparently does not understand the definition of lovers. I feel like I'm that fucking Saturday Night Live skit where they're like, my lover likes blah blah blah. My lover. Okay, guys, seriously. Alright, here's the thing. They did not have sex. You can't, like, once with the intent possibility of a second time. At least. At least. So then, here's the thing, guys. Okay, so, alright. In this book, they go overseas. They're trying to get more information about, this. I'm going to complain more in a moment, but I want to actually talk about the book before I do that. Put a pin in this whole, cover saying they're fucking lovers thing. We're going to get back to that in a moment, but I'm going to talk about the book before I forget to talk about the actual book. So let's talk about the actual book. The actual book was actually pretty good. I enjoyed it. Um, I've been enjoying the writing from Teenie Howard and the art from Yarsky and the Bel Air art. I've been liking everything about all the issues, all the art that's happened over the issues. I've been liking the storyline. I like the idea of Catwoman um, trying to take down. I love any time we have a Catwoman story where she wants to take down um practices and organized crime in her own fucking way, in her own, badass way. And I have been personally inspired by the whole idea of taking down, you know, like rings of trafficking, human trafficking, and everything like that, because that's something that's actually happening in this story. It's something that um she's going out there against violence against women. She's going out there about women being kidnapped, and she wants to stop it. And she's doing everything that she's doing right now is trying to make that happen. And this is something that you hear about in the news, and sometimes maybe you know someone that's been assaulted or kidnapped or whatever, and it's like, yeah, it's triggering, yes. For some people it will be triggering, for some people it's just, we gotta do shit, you know, we gotta do the right shit, and we need art to inspire us to do the right shit. And this is this is one of those moments where it's like, this is a character in art, in literature, that is trying to stand up and do the right thing. And I enjoy that very much about this run of Catwoman. It has a little bit of a noir detective quality to it, and I love it. It is basically when Catwoman says that Batman treated her as an equal, it's she's up there. She's being treated, when Batman and treated her like an equal, it's because she is a good mind and detective, and it's we're seeing it here in this run of Catwoman, and I do very much love that. Um, Now let's get back. It's a great book. I'm loving the storyline. Let's get back to the problem. So we have previews coming out, and people are talking about the next issue of Catwoman's going to be coming out, Catwoman number 48, and the synopsis for Catwoman number 48. When by the time you get done with Catwoman 47, they're going to be on their way to save Dario, because Dario's in the trunk of a car right now. He's been put in the trunk of a car with by his former lover, now head of his now succession, now in place to succeed his father's business. Um, he's been put in a trunk, but he has a cell phone that he's able to get messages out to Selena, and Selena is in Europe right now, and she's trying to figure out, what the fuck do I do to help Dario? So to me, I think my my number one, idea to help Dario is probably where they're going to go with this, based on number 48, the preview and synopsis of number 48. Um, Basically, you need someone in Gotham to get involved, and you need someone that has no problem getting involved with organized crime in Gotham, and which would be Mr. Utility Belt himself, Batman. I think that she does not say in by the end of this issue that she will be getting involved with. She will be contacting Batman, but based on the synopsis and preview of number 48, I think actually she probably will be, because we got this whole lovers thing coming back up again in that preview synopsis, where they are saying what happened. Basically, it's like, what happens when your new lover meets your ex-lover? It's like, guys, she hasn't messed with Velma yet. I'm saying yet because it could happen. Like, I'm thinking, like, at the end of Catwoman 47, guys, it's a pretty dire situation, but maybe they stress fuck. I don't know. Um, it could happen. It could happen. Maybe it happens. Maybe it happens right there while they're waiting for their, to take off and go back to Gotham to help Dario. Maybe. And you know what? Then I'll shut my goddamn mouth. It doesn't seem bloody likely, though. Guys, here's the thing. I do not give two shits about Catwoman having sex. I could give two shits about Catwoman having sex, but what I do care about is when you use the sexuality of a female character to objectify her to sell comic books. I care about that. I do. I'm a woman, and I love this very strong female character that you do not have to pair her up with someone sexually to sell comic books. You don't. You just don't. This is a strong, intelligent female character that you do not need to pair up with a man or anyone. Anyone for that matter. Man, woman, anyone. You do not have to pair her up sexually with someone to sell a comic book. You don't. Do better. Anyways, let's talk about something really fucking cool that happened a couple weeks ago. We got Batman vs. Robin #1. If you are not reading this shit, here is my #1 right now, right here, recommendation. Read this shit. Do it. Just do it. Take a page from Nike. If you're going to read a Batman book, Batman vs. Robin gives you the feels. Shit, does it give you the feels? Guys, we all know I've labeled the video Spoilertastic Weekly Comic Review. I have told you everything about, that I can think of to tell you about any of these other books. Good, bad, or otherwise. But guys, y'all been asking for it. Spoilers. Even though I've labeled the video Spoilertastic, even though I did all that shit, I cannot actively go on this without saying and warning you one more time. I'm going to give you fucking spoilers about this shit. So I'm going to tell you one more time. Tell you one more time, friends. Read this book. If you've been a fan at any point of Batman or Robin or the Batman Gotham mythos, read this book. If you were been a fan of anything involving the League of Assassins or anything, any of that mythos, anywhere, read this book. If you've been a fan of the Gotham mythos, anything that's happened in the life of Bruce Wayne, Robin, any of the Robins, quite frankly, read this book. Don't listen to me talk about it right now. Pause the video. Come back to me after you've read that book, because here's the thing. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm giving you spoilers. Stop the video right now. I didn't think it was possible, guys, and we might... The other shoe might drop on this thing very soon, but I don't know how it's possible, guys, but Alfred, he just shows up in the middle of the rain and knocks on the door looking for Bruce. And the last thing he remembers, he gets in there, he's all frantic, and the last thing he remembers is that he has to help Master Damien. And if you know anything about the death of Alfred, you know that it happened during City of Bane, that storyline by Tom King, and the person that in the story of that story that was there that had to watch Alfred's neck get snapped was Damien. And so like Bruce is saying there, like he's you know obviously not believing it at first, because why, you know and then he's asking this man questions only Alfred would know, and Alfred is answering them. And it's like, oh my God, like, how did this happen? How is this possible? And you have to sit there and, as a reader and somebody that knows about Batman mythology, mythos, and everything like that, you have to sit there and you have to be like, okay, so how is this happening? Well, here's the thing. Not only has the death of this character, been a driving force in the storylines of a number of characters, um, Nightwing, Bruce, Batman, and it has been a major driving force for one character, and that character is Damian Wayne. And there is one person that has mentioned that they're trying to be a better person to Damian Wayne. And right now, I'm going to tell you right now, there are spoilers all run amok. But right now, this is not something that's actually in the book. I'm going to tell you a theory that I have. I think, based on history and precedent, we are going to find out in the course of this book that Talia brought Alfred back for her son. Now, what is the precedent of Talia doing this? Well, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to point you in the direction of a little storyline called Under the Red Hood, um, where Talia very much, you find out that Talia is pretty much the reason why we have Jason Todd. We have the Red Hood. It's Talia that brings Jason to the League of Assassins, compound, and Talia pushes him into the Lazarus pit and tells him, "You've been unavenged," and that kind of thing. Like, Talia basically creates the Red Hood, you know? Um, and I think seeing the effect, this is theory time. Theory, this is not an actual book, this is theory. I think that seeing the effect that the death of Alfred had on Damien, she wanted to do this for her son. Now, what else happens? Okay, so when we last left Damian Wayne, he was standing at the front of a cave um, on Lazarus Island, and his grandmother, great grandmother, excuse me, Mother Soul, was doing some nefarious stuff involving the demons, and we pretty much find out that Damien is now under their control. Whoops. And Damien is under their control now, and Damien is now fighting Batman for control of the cow. And it's not really Damien. Now, tissue's ready, guys, because he is under compulsion. He has all of Damien's abilities and personality, but he is not operating as Damien right now. However, Alfred Pennyworth, while Damian is fighting Bruce, and he brings all these magic users in, and he is like really going toe to toe with Bruce. It is not working out too well um, for Bruce. And Damien's really giving a run for the money, and he all that stuff. You find out that, Damien has, got these two magic users that he's using and manipulating as well, and they're doing a lot of shit. And Alfred's just like comes out and he's like Master Damien, and like that's like the one time that it almost broke Damien's compulsion, because he's like, Pennyworth? Like, it almost, it's just, oh my god, guys. It made me cry so much. And it almost broke Damien's compulsion to see Alfred there. Like, how is this possible? That kind of thing. I'm sure we'll find out how this happened. Is it for real? Is what's going on? That kind of thing. But I kind of like the idea that, if anything, he if he's not here, if he's not back permanently, if anything, he's here to help the situation, because it ain't looking good for Damien. And basically, when um Bruce gets the idea, he's like, we gotta go and we gotta talk to um magic users in, Justice League Dark. And he goes and he visits Zatanna, and the other magic users are all like messed up and like and not in a good spot. And she's just like, she looks like she's like near dead, she's been hung, and it's very dark. Okay, like dark. All right. And she's like, this is shitty. And so Alfred is like insisting. He's like, I gotta help you with Damien. And Bruce is like, okay, all right, I'll let you I'll let you help with Damien. And yeah, oh my god. And then when Bruce hugs Alfred, oh my god. You think of all the things, like if you're a Gotham reader, like if you read the Gotham comics, and you're like me, and you think of the impact, the memory of that man has, just the memory of him has made across all these storylines. And just have that moment. It's just the heart of all of them standing there in the rain. Okay. Let's go ahead and talk about another book that Alfred had a lot of influence in his memory. Nightwing, number 96. I'm using it like this because this is, yeah. Um, but Nightwing, 96. So last we saw this, we had Blockbuster had found out that Dick was Nightwing. So bad, that sucks. Um, so Dick, Nightwing, is fighting Blockbuster, and is pretty brutal. And eventually Blockbuster, gets like basically kicked out the fucking window. Haven has, caught on fire, but people are putting it out. Like, people are teaming up to like help, and Barbara and Batwoman are sitting there like, when these people are coming in like to try and save Blockbuster, she's like, and hold on, you could do that. Barbara's like, you could do that, but I think I have some information that you guys might be a little bit interested in, where you find out. She tells them about how Blockbuster owned the private prison in Bloodhaven that a lot of them have been to, and it's horrible conditions and all that stuff. Um, they're all of a sudden not all that keen on helping Blockbuster anymore. Wonder why. And so they don't help him, and basically, Nightwing ends up kicking him out of a fucking window, but it's Blockbuster, so he survives, and he's all like running off, right? And he's in an alley, and um Heartless shows up, and he's like, I'm not gonna let you have Dick Grayson, and Bloodhaven hates you now, and you're never gonna get them back, and I'm just gonna take your heart. Cool. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. So Blockbuster's, lying heartless literally in an alley, and that's the end of Blockbuster. But the thing that was really beautiful in this book was the Dick Grayson Barbara Gordon moment, where he's like, they don't know that Blockbuster's dead, and or dying or about to die. And Dick is like, I can't be with you, because he knows that Dick Grayson is Nightwing, and that doesn't put Oracle or a Batgirl at risk, it puts Barbara Gordon at risk. And Barbara's like, we are both those people, and I'm in this. Fuck a lot of them. Basically, she's like, fuck that, I'm in this, and you're in this, and we're gonna be in this, and you know, I'm in this. I'm all in, you know. And it's just this beautiful moment. And it's another fucking moment with the fucking comics for the last couple weeks where I cried, right? So, because I'm an emotional woman that loves love, okay? And yeah, it was lovely. It was nice. Dick and Bebs. Yeah. Love conquers all. Guys, I'm going to talk to you about the 30th anniversary Harlequin anniversary special. I enjoyed this very much. This is one of two copies that I have. This is the Adam Hughes variant. Very nice. We also have the J. Scott Campbell variant, and I loved it. I loved, a lot of times with some of these anthology books, especially ones that have happened involving Harley Quinn, um, I end up liking some stories, but not necessarily all of them. I'm gonna say I liked all these stories. There were a couple standout stories. Um, just basically, it has anyone that's ever worked on a Harley Quinn book or series is contributing to something in here. So it's a who's who of Harley Quinn, Dr. Harleen Quinzel. Like I said, this is the Adam Hughes variant. I love it so much. So, standout stories. Um, the Amanda Connor, Jimmy Palamoni, story where Harley Quinn teams up with Alfred. Um, apparently they're, that is such an awesome story. It's so cute. I love it. She teams up with Alfred because she has to pay him back because he was really nice to her taxidermy beaver. And yes, I really, I said what I said. Um, and she has to help him because she uncovers a plot where Wayne Manor is going to get attacked by these people that are trying to steal shit. So she has to help Alfred because he did her solid. And so she comes and she teams up with Alfred, and her and Alfred kick ass, and it's great. Another standout story that I really enjoyed, that actually, like, I wasn't too fond of the art, and I remember seeing it when I started reading it, and I was like, oh god, I'm gonna hate this. But it was actually a really cute story, and I loved it. Hold on, let me tell you what the name is. There's a Gotham City Sirens type story. Um, that's not the one I'm telling you about. There was a kind of like a D&D kind of like story, where she's looking for a special sword and all that. Um, I love the Suicide Squad stories in here. It's, really cool. Um, okay, let's see here. It doesn't have the credits on the front page, but hold on. Okay, it's called Troop Harlequin. Words, script by Cecil Castellucci, art by Dan Hip, and letters by Clayton Cowles. Um, it's this kind of art, and I wasn't like, I was thinking I wasn't going to be fond of the story because of the art. Honestly, I absolutely loved it. Harley is trying to get involved in the community because she wants to be a part of this women's club, and she has to do some like community service. So she decides she's going to be a troop leader for the Gotham Gals, for a fraction of the Gotham Gals. It's kind of like Girl Scouts, and she does all this stuff, and she teaches them how to do stuff based on their interests, kind of a la Troop Beverly Hills. And it's really cute, and it's actually one of those standout stories to me. I really enjoyed it so much. um but yeah, I really didn't have a story in there that I didn't like as a Harley fan, but those were the two that stood out to me. Definitely stood out to me. um but yeah, that's it, guys. That's the comics for right now, for this week. um I hope you had fun watching. I know it was kind of a long show. Went off on a tangent. I know about, people being on a break and not being lovers and all that. But anyways, guys, if you learned anything from tonight, from this show, from this Spoilertastic weekly comic review this week for the officially unofficial geek, and that's this: you do not need to partner up or sexualize your heroine to sell comic books. Thanks, guys. That's the show. That's the show for this week. Um anyways, yeah, that's the show for this week. Guys, again, check out Gary B's Casual Comic Guy. Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central Time. Your girl's going to be on the 10-1-1, and I can't wait to see you guys there. Hop in the chat. Let me know you're there. And if you haven't watched it already, go back and watch Comic Gories. I was there on last Monday on John's Comics with Kids channel. And obviously, we'll be doing the What's Happening Wednesday coming up. Obviously, I've got my birthday coming up. Let me know if you have any ideas of something you would like to see me do for my special birthday episode when I end up doing it. And that's about it. Yeah, gonna do some other cool October spooky type things hopefully coming up in the channel. So let me know what you thought of this past couple weeks comics. And if you have any suggestions, let me know. But until then, bye.